पार्थमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतं सकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम्।
Hello children, in the previous class we have studied about the cell size, shape, cell organelles, multicellular, unicellular we have discussed. Yes, then we have studied about the plasma membrane. So now we will study about the cell wall. Okay, so cell wall, see, wall means protection. So cell wall, that means we do have a protective layer for the cell. So this cell wall, it is only you can find in the plant cells. So plant cells, in addition to the plasma membrane, have another rigid outer covering called as cell wall. That means you do find this cell wall in case of plant cells but not the animal cells. So this cell wall, it is made up of, it is present, if you consider this as your cell membrane, so this cell wall is present outside your cell membrane. So this cell wall, it is made up of, or it is composed of cellulose. So here cellulose is a complex carbohydrate. It is a complex carbohydrate. That means it is having simpler units of glucose which are attached to one another in the form of chain, or they are club type, that are going to form a complex substance, and that is called as what? Cellulose there. It is a complex substance and provides structural strength to plant cell. So what is the main thing in case of your cell wall here? They are going to give what? Strength there. They are going to give the strength there. So when a living plant loses water through osmosis, there is shrinkage or contraction of contents of the cell away from the cell wall. So this phenomena is known as plasmolysis. So in the previous class we have studied about what? Osmosis process. So here when there is shrinkage, that means if it is a hypertonic solution. So what happens if this is your cell? Okay, all the water content is gone out, then your membrane, yes, it moves, yes, your cell membrane moves away from your cell wall. It moves away from your cell wall. So such phenomena is called as what? Plasmolysis. Such phenomena is called as what? Plasmolysis there. So next that we are going to discuss is the nucleus. The nucleus here. So nucleus is a prominent organelle. So yes, so this is your cell, animal cell. So you are able to see the nucleus here. Yes, this is your nucleus. So nucleus is the prominent organelle of your cell there. It is the prominent organelle of your cell. A nucleus has a nuclear membrane which covers it all around. So as we have a cell membrane outside the cell, protective layer, in the same way this nuclear membrane is the protective layer for your nucleus. It is the protective layer for your nucleus. There are pores present on the nuclear membrane that allow movement of substances in and around of the nucleus. So here yes, so this is your nucleus. You do have small pores here. So what all these substance that are going to come inside your cell, they will be going into your nucleus through these small pores there. There are chromosomes, rod-shaped structure present in the nucleus which contain genetic information. So these nucleus, the nuclear membrane, inside the nucleus you have rod-shaped structures. They are called as chromosomes. So these chromosomes, they contain the genetic material, the genetic information of the organisms. Each cell has this genetic material there. So the chromosomes contain two types of things. So the chromosomes, yes, contain majorly two types of things. What are they? A DNA. So DNA is responsible for the organizing and constructing new cells. So if a new cell has to perform or organizing a new cell, it is all done by your DNA. It is all done by what? The DNA there. It is all done by the DNA. The proteins, the next important component that we are going to see here is the proteins. So these proteins help in packing and condensation of DNA. So the proteins, they play important role in packing and just condensing, that means reducing your DNA, okay, condensation of your DNA, packing the DNA and condensing it. So this is nucleus, you have, this is your cell, these all are your cell organelles. So this is your nucleus and you have this nucleolus and these all are your DNA material, that is the DNA genetic material there. So next we have is chromatin. So next is chromatin. Chromatin is a thread-like material present in a cell. So chromatin you do find in case of, this is nucleus, this is you have your nuclear pores. So this is nothing but your chromatin there, thread-like structure. The chromatin organizes itself into chromosomes whenever the cell is about to divide. So before a cell division, if the cell is not dividing, you find your DNA, that is genetic material, in this form, that is chromatin, thin thread-like structure. The moment when the cell is going to divide there, yes, the moment when cell is going to divide, it forms what itself, it is going to the chromatin is going to organize itself in a rod shape like structure called as chromosome. Okay, so if you just observe very closely, this is thread like structure. Then if you just go on opening it, you will be able to see small proteins. Yes, you have nucleosomes and the histones. So histone proteins and nucleosome. To this your DNA is winded. To this the DNA is been coiled there. DNA is been coiled there. Next we are going to study is the nucleolus. Next is nucleolus. So it is called as the brain of the nucleus. Yes, nucleolus is the brain of nucleus. We call the nucleus as the main functioning unit of a cell. But here the nucleolus is called as brain of your nucleus. It is brain of the nucleus itself. It comprises of 25% of volume of the nucleus. That means it is, if this is your cell, this is your nucleus. So this is only the 25% of your nucleus is nucleolus. It consists of proteins and ribonucleic acids. So your nucleolus, it consists of the proteins and ribonucleic acids, also called as RNA. So it helps in formation of ribosomes, which help in the formation of proteins inside the cell. See, nucleolus, yes, it has majorly the proteins and your ribonucleic acid, that is RNA. It is having the RNA there. So this nucleolus, yes, it helps in the formation of ribosomes. So ribosomes are also a type of cell organelles, but they are being synthesized inside your nucleolus. So this nucleolus, it synthesizes the ribosomes, which are further required for the formation of your proteins in the cell. That means for protein synthesis, these ribosomes play an important role there. They play a very important role there. So sometimes cells do not have a well-defined nucleus because they lack a nuclear membrane. So in some of the cells, they don't have a very well-defined structure of the nucleus because they are going to lack the nuclear membrane. Such a nucleus with no definite nuclear boundaries is called as nucleoid. That means if you have a cell and there is no specific nuclear membrane, there is no boundary for your nucleus, it is like this. Yes, then it is called as what? Nucleoid. It is called as nucleoid. Fine. What are the prokaryotes? So, what are the prokaryotes? So, organisms whose cells do not have a definite cell membrane are called as prokaryotes. So, the cells which do not have definite cell membrane, then they are called as what? Prokaryotes. They are called as prokaryotes there. Then what are eukaryotes? So, organisms whose cell contain a well-defined nuclear membrane are called eukaryotes. So, eukaryotes are the one which have well-defined nuclear membrane. That is a very systematic, differentiated nuclear membrane. If they have in the nucleus, then they are called as eukaryotes. They are called as eukaryotes there. So, the major difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So, there is no presence of nucleus in case of your prokaryotes. There is no presence of nucleus in case of your prokaryotes. Nucleus exists in the cell. So, they do have nucleus there. A single chromosome is present. In case of prokaryotes, they do have only single chromosome there. They have only one chromosome. But when it comes to eukaryotes, they have multiple chromosomes there. They have many chromosomes there. They undergo asexual reproduction. So, reproduction means giving birth to a new type of cells. So, they are having asexual reproduction. You very well know what is asexual reproduction. Whereas the eukaryotes, they undergo sexual reproduction, but in some they have even asexual reproduction also. That means some have the capability. Even though they are eukaryotes, they undergo asexual reproduction, and the higher organisms, they undergo sexual reproduction there. They are generally unicellular organisms. So, most of the time the prokaryotes are unicellular. That means having only single cell there. But eukaryotes, they are generally multicellular there. There are no membrane bound cell organelles. So, in case of prokaryotes, you don't find the cell organelles membrane bound. They don't have any membrane. They are, everything is in one, yes, it is in only one cell you have. Inside that everything is there. There is no definite specification as such. But when it comes to eukaryotes, there are membrane bound organelles present inside the cell. You do have membrane bound organelles there. You do have membrane bound organelles. Yes, so this is structure of your eukaryote. This is structure of your prokaryote there. This is structure of eukaryote and this is prokaryote there. So, as I said, you do have all organelles here. You can see different organelles, but in case of your prokaryotes, you don't find them. Everything is in one itself. That's why it is called as nucleoid, because there is no nuclear membrane there. They don't have any nuclear membrane there. Then you have ribosomes. Yes, you do have cell organelles, but they are not membrane bound as in case of eukaryotes. Next that we are going to study, it is about the cytoplasm here. So, this cytoplasm, yes, you can just see here, yes. So, this is your complete cell here, yes, and we have the membrane. We have studied about plasma membrane also. Here we have the what? The fluid like structure. Yes, we have what? The fluid like structure which is called as the cytoplasma. So, it is called as what? Cytoplasma. Now, we will study what all contents are there in case of this cytoplasma. Yes, cytoplasma. The plasma membrane has a fluid like structure. Yes, it has a fluid like substance in it. So, the fluid like substance is called as what? Cytoplasma. The cytoplasma contains several organelles. Yes. So, in this particular cytoplasm, we do have several different kind of organelles there. okay, that perform distinct functions of the cell. So we know cell is going to perform many functions there. But how is it going to perform? It is going to perform with the help of these different organelles, where each organelle is having its own specific function there. It is going to have its own specific functions there. So what all do we have the function of this cytoplasma? Why is it so important there? So it supports and suspends the cell organelles and molecules. So the first function that this cytoplasma does is it is going to give the support, yes, and it suspends all these organelles and molecules in itself. Then the cellular process occurs in cytoplasma, such as formation of proteins. So now we have studied that the protein or the ribosome synthesis takes place inside the nucleus. Yes, then protein synthesis takes place through your next step. We will study in the organelles, that is by your rough endoplasmic reticulum, because they do have ribosomes there. So this is present in the cytoplasma but not in the nucleus. So the protein synthesis majorly takes place in your cytoplasma there. It allows movement of substances in the cell such as hormones. It dissolves cellular wastes there. So it is helping in the movement of your hormones. Not just the hormones, it might be the important substance needed by each of these organelles. Yes, the important substance which are needed by each of these organelles, or it might be needed by your nucleus also. So they have to travel through your, yes, cytoplasm. Yes, they have to travel through your cytoplasm. And when the particular process is functioning there, what all wastes are being produced? Yes, so it is being dissolved in your cytoplasm itself. It is being dissolved in your cytoplasm only. Okay, so this is the major function of your cytoplasm. So moving on to the next one, this we have cell organelles. So as we just now saw that we do have cell organelles which have their own specific functions and they are being suspended in your cytoplasm. So let us study what these cell organelles are. In the case of eukaryotic organisms, the cells contain organelles that have their own membranes apart from the overall cell membrane of the cell. So if you take this as a cell, yes, it is your cell membrane, you do find all these the membranes, and here each membrane is having its own covering there. They have their own coverings here, but you find this kind of arrangement only in case of your eukaryotic organisms. But when you compare it with the prokaryotic organisms, they don't have this kind of characteristic of the organelles there. They are all in one. You don't have any membrane bond. If you take a prokaryotic cell, everything is there in like this only. You don't have any membranes as such. Okay. So what is the significance of membrane bound organelles in a cell? What is the importance of this membrane bound organelles in a cell there? So the cells perform several functions. Cells are going to perform many different kind of functions. These organelles are useful because they allow separation of different functions that are being performed by the cell. So these cell organelles do play very important role because they are going to separate each one's functions from one another. The functions are different, so they should not get clubbed to one another. If they get clubbed, they get it becomes very hectic for a cell. So that's why they will be having membrane bound, and they are separating each one's function from one another. Organelles which carry out important activities in the cell. So now when we come to know the importance of your cell organelles, so let us just have a look on different kinds of cell organelles. Yes, we have endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, then we have lysosomes. Yes, we have mitochondria, Yes, we have plastids, vacuoles, centrioles, ribosomes and peroxisomes. So all these 9 organelles are membrane bound, and they are having, each one organelle is having its own function there. They have their own specific functions. Now you can see here the structure of the cell. Yes, you are able to see the nucleus. This is the nucleus here. Then we have mitochondria. Yes, this is also one organelle there. Then we have Golgi apparatus. We have a rough endoplasmic reticulum as well as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So if you observe, this endoplasmic reticulum is very much attached to your nucleus there. Then we have ribosomes. Yes, then we have centrioles, we have peroxisomes, yes, we have chloroplast, plastids, you do find in your plant cells there. So these are, and we have lysosome also we do have, it's down here. Yes, we do have the lysosomes also. Yes, so these are different organelles which are present in a cell. These are the different cell organelles which are present in a cell. So in the next class, we will study each one organelle separately. Thank you.